Are you tired of feeling undervalued and unappreciated in your relationships? Today, we're diving into 9 warning signs that reveal when it's time to walk away, embracing the wisdom of Stoic philosophy. These are not just red flags, they're signals to prioritize your self-respect and seek inner peace. Have you ever heard phrases that make you question your worth? It's time to open your eyes to the truth. In this video, we'll uncover powerful Stoic life lessons that teach us the art of emotional control and self-preservation. We'll discuss phrases like, "I don't need a man," and "you need to change," words that undermine your value. But recognizing them isn't enough. You need to take action. If you're seeking daily Stoic insights that can transform your life, stay with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Stoic Narratives Official, your source for mastering the principles of Stoicism and building stronger, healthier relationships. 1. I don't need a man. Let's start with the first red flag. I don't need a man. At first, this might sound like a declaration of independence, but look deeper and you'll find a message that could undermine your role in the relationship. Stoicism teaches us to understand what we can and cannot control, and the words spoken by those close to us reveal their true intentions. When a partner says this, it often means she doesn't see your value or the contributions you bring to her life. In any relationship, a sense of mutual dependence is crucial. Both partners should feel that they contribute to each other's well-being and happiness. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius remind us that the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. If you're in a relationship where your role is dismissed, that negativity can seep into your thoughts, leading to doubt and dissatisfaction, and self-respect in relationships starts to erode. Why does this matter so much? Because being needed is essential to a man's identity. It's in our nature to want to provide, protect, and support. When you hear, "I don't need a man," it suggests that she's rejecting this part of you. This rejection isn't about fostering healthy independence. It's about pushing you away and dismissing the value of what you offer. Think about it. If she truly respected and valued you, she'd acknowledge the role you play in her life, just as you recognize hers. A Stoic mindset emphasizes the importance of being grounded in reality, of seeing things as they are. And in this reality, you deserve to be with someone who values what you bring. If that's not happening, then it's time to make a tough but necessary choice, a choice that aligns with your self-respect and sense of purpose. This statement often leads to a one-sided relationship, where she benefits from your efforts but offers little in return. Without mutual appreciation, the relationship becomes a drain on your emotional resources. This is why Stoic philosophy encourages you to step back and evaluate the situation logically. Ask yourself, is this truly fulfilling? Are you becoming a better, more balanced person because of this relationship, or are you constantly questioning your worth? If the answer is the latter, it's a clear sign that it's time to move on. Recognize the value of your time and energy, and don't allow yourself to be stuck where you are not appreciated. As the Stoics would say, preserving your inner peace is more important than clinging to a connection that brings no balance or harmony. Walking away is not defeat, it's an act of self-respect. 2. You're too sensitive. Now let's talk about another common red flag. You're too sensitive. At first glance, this might seem like a simple critique, but it's far more revealing. Stoic philosophy teaches us to be mindful of how others treat our emotions. When someone dismisses your feelings by calling you too sensitive, it's a sign that they lack empathy and are unwilling to understand your inner world. This isn't about you being overly emotional. It's about her refusal to acknowledge your experiences. In a healthy relationship, both partners listen, validate, and respect each other's emotions. A comment like, "You're too sensitive," shifts the blame onto you, instead of encouraging understanding. It can make you feel as though expressing your feelings is wrong or weak. But remember the words of Marcus Aurelius, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." If your thoughts become filled with self-doubt because of such dismissive remarks, it can erode your inner peace. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of maintaining control over your mind, but that doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. Instead, It's about recognizing when your feelings are being invalidated and taking action to protect yourself. When a partner minimizes your feelings, it often means they are unwilling to take responsibility for their actions or to adjust their behavior. This creates a toxic dynamic where your emotional needs are never met. Think about it. Would you accept this kind of treatment from a close friend or colleague? Probably not. So why tolerate it from a partner, someone who should be your biggest supporter? Relationship advice for men often highlights the importance of finding a partner who values open communication, not one who dismisses your feelings as a flaw. This type of behavior suggests a lack of willingness to grow together and find common ground. Toxic relationship signs like these should never be ignored. They can lead to a one-sided relationship where your partner's needs come first and yours are sidelined. As Seneca wisely noted, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. If you accept her words and let them shape your thoughts, you risk allowing these doubts to become your reality. The path of Stoic resilience involves knowing when to draw boundaries. It's about standing firm, understanding that your feelings matter, and not letting anyone make you feel small for expressing them. Don't let someone else's insensitivity rob you of your self-respect. The decision to leave a partner who constantly belittles your feelings isn't about giving up. It's about choosing to protect your emotional well-being. It's about making room for someone who will value the real you. 3. I deserve better. Now, let's address another significant red flag. I deserve better. At first, this statement might sound like ambition or a desire for more, but it often carries a deeper, more troubling message. Stoic principles teach us to recognize when others' words undermine our self-worth. When your partner says she deserves better, it suggests she doesn't fully appreciate who you are or what you bring to the relationship. A strong relationship relies on mutual respect. Both partners should feel valued and cherished. When someone says, I deserve better, they're implying that you're not enough, that your efforts, character, or presence fall short. This can deeply affect your self-esteem and create an environment where you constantly feel the need to prove your worth. Yet, Stoicism teaches us that our worth comes from within, not from someone else's opinion. Consider what Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If you accept her words and allow them to shape your thoughts, you may begin to doubt your own value. This can lead to a cycle of self-questioning and insecurity, which is harmful not only to you, but also to the relationship. In a truly balanced partnership, both individuals should uplift each other, not diminish one another's worth. Think about how this statement affects the relationship dynamic. A partner who constantly believes they deserve more is less likely to appreciate your qualities and contributions. Instead, they focus on what they perceive as missing or lacking. This attitude creates an imbalance, where one person takes more and gives less. Over time, this can become toxic, draining you emotionally as you struggle to meet impossible expectations. A Stoic mindset helps you see the situation for what it is. It encourages you to ask, does this person genuinely appreciate who I am, or are they always looking for something better? If your partner's words make you feel inadequate, it's a clear signal that your efforts will never be enough for them. And as Seneca reminds us, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. If your partner constantly craves more, they may be unable to find true satisfaction in any relationship. By recognizing this red flag, you take a step towards self-preservation. It's not about bitterness or resentment. It's about understanding that you deserve a partner who sees your worth and respects you for who you are. Leaving a relationship that constantly makes you feel less is a courageous act. It's a way to reclaim your inner peace and align your life with those who appreciate your true self. 4. I can leave anytime I want. Next up is a phrase that carries a powerful warning. I can leave anytime I want. On the surface, it may sound like an assertion of independence, but beneath it lies a more serious issue. Stoic philosophy reminds us to pay attention to actions and words that disrupt our peace of mind. A statement like this suggests a lack of true commitment and a readiness to walk away without hesitation. It's a threat to the stability and trust that every healthy relationship requires. When someone says this, they are creating an atmosphere of insecurity. The message is clear. They are not fully invested, and they want you to know it. It puts you in a constant state of uncertainty, making you feel like you need to be on your best behavior to keep them around. Yet, Stoicism teaches us the importance of inner stability. It advises us to focus on building relationships where both partners are fully committed, not where one is keeping an exit door open. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This wisdom applies here. Don't waste time in relationships where the other person isn't willing to stand by you through the ups and downs. A partner who constantly reminds you that they can leave at any moment isn't offering you the loyalty or dedication that true love demands. Instead, they are using uncertainty as a means of control, making you question your place in their life. Imagine being in a job where your boss constantly tells you, "I could replace you anytime." How would that make you feel? It would create a sense of anxiety and insecurity, making it hard to feel valued. Now, think about how that translates into a relationship. A Stoic mindset would recognize that such a dynamic is not only unhealthy, but also unsustainable. You deserve a partner who sees your value and is willing to put in the effort to make things work, not one who treats you as disposable. This phrase is also a sign of emotional manipulation. It keeps you in a state of fear, worried that any small disagreement or flaw might drive them away. But Stoicism teaches us to rise above fear and not let others hold power over our emotions. As Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." True freedom comes from recognizing when someone's words or actions are designed to control you and choosing to walk away from it. Walking away from a relationship where your partner makes you feel replaceable isn't a failure. It's an act of self-respect. It means you value yourself enough to seek out a relationship where commitment is mutual. You deserve stability, a foundation built on trust, not one built on the threat of departure. Recognizing this red flag and acting on it is a step towards maintaining your inner peace and preserving your self-worth. 5. All my exes were crazy. Let's move on to another statement that should raise a red flag. All my exes were crazy. At first, this might seem harmless, just a way of expressing past frustrations. But Stoic wisdom teaches us to look deeper. This statement often reveals a troubling pattern, a refusal to take responsibility for one's own role in failed relationships. When someone constantly blames their exes, they are unwilling to acknowledge their own mistakes or flaws. In any relationship, accountability is key. A partner who refuses to look inward, who paints every ex as the problem, will likely do the same to you when conflicts arise. Stoic philosophy emphasizes self-reflection and understanding our own role in life's events. Marcus Aurelius reminded us to be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. But someone who says, "All my exes were crazy," isn't being strict with themselves. They are passing judgment onto others to avoid self-reflection. Consider this. In a healthy relationship, both partners should be able to learn from their past experiences. But when a partner insists that every past relationship ended because of their ex's flaws, it shows a lack of growth and maturity. It's a sign that they might not be willing to learn from the present relationship either. This refusal to see their own shortcomings can lead to repeating the same negative patterns, creating a cycle of blame that traps you both. Think about how this plays out in the long run. If you ever find yourself at odds with this person, there's a good chance that they'll use the same narrative against you. Suddenly, you become the crazy ex in their story. It's a convenient way for them to avoid accountability and sidestep the hard work of self-improvement. Stoic principles encourage us to seek clarity and truth. They remind us that a person's view of others often reveals more about themselves. This phrase also hints at a lack of empathy and understanding. A partner who labels all their exes as crazy likely struggles to see situations from others' perspectives. But empathy is crucial for resolving conflicts and growing together. Without it, arguments become battles and misunderstandings turn into resentments. Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." If your partner sees every past conflict as the fault of others, they may be trapped in a cycle of imagined slights and self-righteousness. Choosing to stay in a relationship with someone who lacks accountability can drain you emotionally. It's like standing in a storm, hoping the weather will change. Stoicism teaches us to recognize what we cannot change, other people's attitudes, and instead focus on what we can control, our own decisions. Leaving a partner who refuses to own their part in past failures is not about passing judgment. It's about safeguarding your inner peace. It's about finding someone willing to grow, just as you are, and building a relationship based on mutual respect and 6. My friends are more important. Let's move to another statement that can seriously impact your relationship. My friends are more important. At first, it might seem natural that she values her friendships, but Stoic philosophy encourages us to question what lies beneath such declarations. In a healthy partnership, both people should prioritize each other while maintaining a balanced social life. When a partner tells you outright that their friends come first, it signals a fundamental misalignment of priorities. In a relationship, you might start feeling neglected and undervalued if you always come second to others. Stoicism teaches us to seek harmony and balance, yet here, the balance tips against your favor. True connection thrives when both partners feel seen and heard. When she places her friends above you consistently, it reveals a lack of commitment and may indicate that she doesn't see you as a central part of her life. Think about how this dynamic affects your sense of belonging. When someone values their friends more than their partner, it can create emotional distance. You might feel like an outsider in your own relationship, constantly competing for attention. But relationships aren't meant to be competitions. They are meant to be places of mutual support and trust. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. If your thoughts become filled with doubts about your place in her life, your inner peace is at risk. Imagine being in a situation where every weekend plan revolves around her friends, or when important life moments are shared with them first instead of with you. It's normal to want to be a priority in your partner's life. This isn't about being possessive. It's about having a relationship where you are valued and respected. A Stoic mindset would urge you to recognize this imbalance and question whether it aligns with the self-respect you aim to maintain. Moreover, Stoic principles remind us to focus on what we can control. You cannot control her priorities or how she chooses to spend her time, but you can control your response. If she's not willing to place you as a priority, perhaps it's time to consider what you need to do to protect your well-being. A toxic relationship often makes you feel less than worthy, and a partner who consistently prioritizes others over you can undermine your sense of security. Seneca said, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." You should be with someone who values your presence as much as you value theirs. If you find yourself sidelined, it's time to evaluate what's best for you. Walking away isn't about rejecting love. It's about seeking a relationship where you are truly valued. It's about choosing peace over constant guessing and Stoic wisdom over unnecessary turmoil. 7. You should know what I want. Now let's tackle a phrase that can undermine the foundation of any relationship. You should know what I want. This statement might seem like a small complaint, but Stoic wisdom encourages us to see the deeper implications. It suggests an expectation that you can read her mind, placing the burden of understanding on you while avoiding open communication. Stoicism emphasizes clarity and logic, yet this phrase creates confusion and misalignment. In a healthy relationship, communication is key. Both partners should feel comfortable expressing their needs. Expecting someone to intuitively know what the other wants is unrealistic and often leads to misunderstandings. Stoic philosophy teaches that while we cannot control others, we can control how we respond. It's about recognizing when communication is lacking and addressing it directly. But if she refuses to meet you halfway, it becomes a persistent issue that erodes respect and trust. Think about how this expectation affects your emotional well-being. Constantly hearing, "You should know what I want," can make you feel inadequate, as though your efforts are never enough. It creates pressure to always decipher her thoughts. Yet Marcus Aurelius advises us to seek truth, reminding us that relationships thrive on honesty, not assumptions. When assumptions replace open dialogue, misunderstandings and resentment grow. Imagine a work scenario where your boss expects you to understand tasks without clear instructions. Over time, you'd feel frustrated, even resentful. The same applies to relationships. Without clear communication, even the best intentions can fall short. Stoic principles encourage us to set boundaries and recognize when communication is lacking. You deserve a relationship where respect comes from mutual openness, not from guessing games that cause frustration. Moreover, this phrase reveals a deeper issue, a lack of willingness to be vulnerable. True Stoic strength lies in the courage to express one's needs without fear. When a partner hides behind phrases like, "You should know what I want," it signals a reluctance to share openly. Yet vulnerability is essential for true connection. It's what allows partners to understand each other's desires and to build a bond that withstands challenges. Recognizing this red flag helps you reclaim your self-respect. It's about acknowledging that you deserve a relationship where communication flows freely without fear or pretense. Seneca reminds us, wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. And in relationships, kindness is shown through the willingness to communicate clearly. If she's not willing to articulate her needs, it's a sign that the relationship lacks the foundation of trust and openness that it requires. It's not about leaving at the first sign of trouble, but about recognizing patterns that keep you in a state of emotional uncertainty. 8. You need to change. Let's discuss a phrase that can be particularly damaging in relationships. You need to change. At first, it might sound like constructive feedback, but Stoic philosophy teaches us that change must come from within, not from external demands. When a partner frequently says this, it's often a sign that they don't accept you for who you are. This can slowly erode your self-respect, making you feel like you're never enough. In a healthy relationship, both partners should grow together. Growth is essential, but it should be a mutual journey, not one dictated by demands. When someone insists that you need to change, it means they have a specific image in mind, one that doesn't include the real you. They want you to fit into their mold, rather than appreciating your unique qualities. This attitude contradicts Stoic values, which remind us to focus on what we can control, our own thoughts and actions, not to change others. Marcus Aurelius once advised, "Be content with what you are." This wisdom suggests that change should come from a place of inner desire, not from external pressure. If your partner is always pushing you to become someone different, it's a sign they may not appreciate the person you are now. Instead, they might be more in love with an idealized version of you than with your true self. Consider how this affects your emotional well-being. Being told that you must change creates a constant feeling of inadequacy, as if you're not enough as you are. It makes you feel like your best efforts will never meet their expectations. Stoicism teaches us to cherish our inner virtues, our character, principles, and integrity. Yet, when a partner demands change, they often cause you to question these very qualities. Imagine if a friend constantly pointed out what you need to fix about yourself. It wouldn't take long before you started to doubt your own worth. The same holds true in relationships. A Stoic approach would encourage you to set boundaries and recognize when someone's words are meant to control rather than support. It's about understanding that you deserve a partner who values you with all your strengths and imperfections. Seneca once said, "He who is brave is free." In relationships, being brave means standing up for yourself and knowing when to walk away from a partner who doesn't appreciate your true self. True freedom comes when you accept yourself and find someone who does the same. Leaving a relationship where you're constantly told to change isn't about giving up on love. It's about finding a connection where you are valued for who you are. This choice is an act of self-preservation and a commitment to live according to Stoic principles. It's about seeking what is genuine, rejecting unrealistic expectations, and protecting your inner peace. Understanding this allows you to embrace a relationship where your true self is valued, not one where you're expected to become someone else. 9. I'm not ready for a relationship. Let's turn to a phrase that should never be taken lightly. I'm not ready for a relationship. At first, it might sound like honesty or respect for your feelings, but Stoic wisdom teaches us to see beyond the words. When someone says they're not ready, it means they cannot give you the commitment you deserve. Stoicism emphasizes living in accordance with truth, and the truth here is that a one-sided commitment only leads to disappointment. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius remind us that the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. If you stay with someone who isn't ready to commit, you may fill your mind with doubts, hoping they will change. But Stoicism teaches us to accept what is beyond our control. You cannot force readiness or love, and staying in such a relationship often results in frustration and unmet needs. Consider how this affects your self-respect. When someone says they aren't ready but keeps you around, it means they enjoy your company without investing fully. This creates an imbalance, where you're giving more while waiting for them to change. Stoic principles encourage us to recognize our worth and not settle for less. You deserve a partner who is as committed and eager as you are. Imagine working on a team where others aren't willing to contribute. Would you keep investing your energy? Probably not. The same applies to relationships. If your partner isn't ready, it means they're not in the same place as you emotionally. Seneca said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." Facing this reality takes courage, but it's necessary for your well-being. Choosing to leave a relationship where you're not a priority isn't impatience. It's about protecting your inner peace. It's about acknowledging that waiting for someone to become ready can drain your time and energy. Stoic wisdom advises us to focus on what brings balance to our lives. A relationship where you're always waiting is not balanced. This decision requires strength, but it's rooted in self-awareness. It's the realization that you deserve a partner who values you now, not someone who might appreciate you later. Walking away when your partner isn't ready is an act of self-preservation. It's choosing to prioritize your emotional well-being, opening yourself to a partnership built on mutual commitment. Stoic philosophy reminds us that love should never come at the cost of our inner calm. By letting go of what isn't right, you make space for a connection that respects your worth and aligns with your values. In conclusion, in relationships, recognizing these red flags is crucial for preserving your inner peace and self-respect. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true strength lies in understanding when to let go, and walking away is not a sign of weakness, but of wisdom. If she says any of these 9 things, it's a clear signal to prioritize your well-being and choose a path that aligns with your values. Remember, a relationship should uplift you, not drain you. By embracing the principles of Stoicism, you can cultivate the courage to make the right choices for your emotional health. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Seek a connection that respects your worth and supports your Stoic journey. If this video resonated with you, make sure to like and subscribe to Stoic Narratives Official for more insights into living a balanced, Stoic life. Let's build a community that values self-growth, resilience, and the pursuit of true inner calm.